What exactly is straight edge, and what are the rules to be straight edge? Stick around in this video. I'll tell you what I think. Nice, calm surroundings. Zen, some might say. Yeah, so first off, what exactly is straight edge? Well, it's essentially a movement towards clean living that was started among hardcore punk fans in the 80s. It was a term coined by this guy named Ian MacKaye, who's the vocalist of Minor Threat, one of the kind of, I would say, breaking acts at that point. One of the sort of pioneers of hardcore, you could say. And he wasn't trying to start a movement when he said it, and when he wrote the song, that's where it came from, is a song literally called Straight Edge. It's just a personal thing for him, apparently. He was just saying, like, I want to live clean and healthy, and this is what I'm about. And it became a movement, I think, essentially because during that time in the scene, just like there is now, among like metal and hardcore, there is a lot of nihilism and sort of self-destructive type behavior. So it's kind of a pushback against that. Like, we can still be hardcore, we can still be metal, but be healthy, like spiritually, physically, all of that. Cheers. I'm thirsty, okay? Don't worry, it's non-alcoholic. I like it because, I just like beer. Some people that see my videos, I feel like I'm kind of the beer guy. So I can still be the beer guy, but no alcohol. But yeah, anyway. Second part then, the point. What actually makes you straight edge? What is being straight edge all about? Well, basically, like, the way I see it, the two main concepts are don't drink and don't do drugs. But I would kind of basically put those both in the same thing. I mean, drinking, alcohol is a drug, let's be honest. So basically, it's kind of like this, more like be sober. Or, in my opinion, more like, this big ass ant here. This is real life, man. I'm not cutting this stuff. I'm sitting in some grass. The point is, like, be clear of mind, be sober. It's like in the Bible when it says to be clear of mind. A lot of people interpret that as like you can never drink, you can never smoke or anything. I think there's something to be said for that, for sure. But also being clear of mind, it also means like not wasting your attention, your energy on consuming things like scrolling, like pornographic material, even like mainstream media, like garbage news, I don't know, celebrity magazines. I would group that all in. And this is where I'm getting at, is straight edge is a lot more than literally just you have to be sober, you can't drink. I think that's kind of like the main concept, like I said, but also like when it became a movement, it started to evolve, right? So in the beginning, it was literally this Ian MacKaye guy just saying this, and then all these other people getting behind that. And part of it has to do like with this X thing. It's like a joke because an X became the symbol for it because in the early hardcore days, it was in America and you have to be 21 to drink. So when you were at a hardcore show, if you were under 21, they would put a big Sharpie X on your hand. That way the bartenders knew not to serve you alcohol. And then it became like a badge of honor. Like the X is like, I'm sober, I'm hardcore. which is also funny because I'm going to bounce all over here, but like this is where it becomes really nuanced, right? Because some people are like, oh, if you weren't always straight edge, then you're not straight edge. To me, that's like a real poser thing to say, especially coming from someone who's like not even old enough to drink, to tell you like, oh, I'm more pure than you because I don't drink. It's like, you're not even old enough to get into the bar, dude. Like, it's not an achievement, you know? If you're not faced with any temptation, there's no like victory in conquering it. Of course, obviously you can drink just because you're not old enough to get into the bar, but you see my point. But yeah, this is where it also becomes more nuanced in the sense that what exactly does it mean then to be straight edge? Because like I said, it started to evolve, and then some people were like, well, straight edge is also not eating junk food, which I personally agree with. But then it was like, straight edge is being vegetarian. And then some people were like, straight edge is being vegan. And then it became like, straight edge is being vegetarian, being 100% celibate, and doing absolutely no drugs. You know, like, it pretty much, it just became asceticism. I think that's how you say this word. It just became like giving up literally anything that could potentially give you pleasure at some point. And is that literally the rules? No. I don't really think so. There's a funny clip of Ian MacKaye from, I guess, 1980s, where he was saying some guy who was like claiming straight edge came up to him and was like, what are you drinking? And he's like, oh, I'm drinking iced tea. And he's like, dude, that has caffeine in it. My friend says caffeine is a drug. And Ian MacKaye's like, well, tell your friend that I say, fuck you. And yeah, because the point of this to me especially is like, it's not a purity contest. Like, that's when it becomes a joke. It's when it's like, I'm better than you, I'm more pure than you. Like, who cares, bro? Like, oh, you don't drink caffeine? Whatever. Caffeine's not really like an intoxicant, especially in like smaller doses. Like, unless you drink a shit ton of it, but even then, it's not the same thing as drinking alcohol. Very arguably, it's not the same thing as most other drugs. And to me, like, I would say even kind of nicotine falls into that category. However, smoking is not good for you. Of any kind, essentially, smoking is not good for you. But it's like, nicotine isn't really something that alters your state of mind, or especially if you're not smoking it, it doesn't really have like a huge physiological effect. It's not like extremely toxic. I mean, there's arguments to be made for that, but essentially like the mode in which you get nicotine is generally what makes it really bad or not so bad for you. Anyway, that's also another discussion, but basically the way I see it is, yeah, it's not a purity contest. It's mostly about recognizing the things that are limiting to you, the things that are holding you back, or the things that you are being controlled by, or you're overly attached to, and eliminating them from your life. Because this is the way I see it too. Straight edge isn't about limiting yourself and about making yourself suffer. That's really not the point. The point is actually freedom. It's actually to, like I said, eliminate the things that are holding you back, and to gain clarity and more awareness. So it's kind of, at the end of the day, up to you to decide what those things are. And I mean, you kind of have to keep it, in my opinion, in the general. Like, you can't be drinking every day. You can't be just doing drugs and then claiming straight edge, obviously. But I mean, if you want to drink a cup of coffee, whatever. You know, you want to do a zin, like you want to throw in one snooze every once in a while. You know, even for me, because yeah, it's like there's this kind of arrogant culture behind it. Like if you go down the rabbit hole, you'll see there's like these groups that are like, oh yeah, I'm way more pure than you, I'm better than you. And I mean, arrogance and pride is like an addiction and a sin in itself, right? So in my opinion, those also aren't helpful and kind of might even disqualify you, in my opinion. But like, I'm not going to be a poser and pretend that like, oh, I don't struggle with anything. Like, I still occasionally indulge in nicotine. I've been cutting way back on it, but it's like, it's also not something that dominates my life. It's not like, oh, if I don't get nicotine right now, there's going to be a problem. It's not something that's causing me any financial harm, and it's also not getting in the way of having a positive state of mind, and so on. But it's also something, like I said, I'm testing myself with. Can I do without it? Can I do with way less of it and not be affected by that? Because to me, that's the whole point. It's about living clean intentionally and basically trying to remove obstacles from your life. And in that sense, there's a big spiritual element to it, right? Kind of makes me think of this quote from the Tao Te Ching. It's something like, most men improve their lives by adding something to it every day, where the sage improves his life by removing something from his life every day. And that's what I mean, is that's where there's so many more levels to it than like literally just don't drink, just don't do drugs. Sure. But like, there's other people, yeah, out there claiming straight edge, but yet they're like, you know, not sexually pure, which I think is also a very important part of it, and also has a spiritual element to that. Or they're not exercising, or they're still eating junk food, or drinking soda constantly. Where do you draw the line, right? So, like, for me, personally, it's like, if I want to drink a cup of coffee, maybe have a snooze, or, you know, like a nicotine pouch once in a while. I don't think that necessarily disqualifies me, because I'm still living intentionally. I'm still exercising constantly. I'm cutting out all the other things in my life that I felt like I knew were holding me back. Will I eventually maybe experiment with completely cutting out caffeine as well and completely getting rid of nicotine? Yeah, maybe. But yeah, it's not a make or break thing in that sense. Hydration. Straight edge, man. You might notice that I'm wearing the same shirt as in my last video. It's because I'm traveling. I have a really limited wardrobe, and you know, minimalism and all that, which I also think that's kind of a part of straight edge, like, in my opinion, anti-materialism. Like, oh, I don't drink and do drugs, but yet I blow all my money on useless crap, like clothes. Like, I mean, you need clothes to an extent, but like hoarding stuff, like clothes that you don't need, or any material thing that you don't need. It's like a drug in itself too, and it's totally comparable, just because it's not a substance, right? Like, there's so many of these things, like I said, media, like sexual impurity, yeah, materialism, whatever. So yeah, let me know honestly in the comments what you think straight edge is about, what it means to you. And just consider experimenting with it. Goddamn, I cannot help but play with the grass when I'm sitting in grass. I just have to. But yeah, consider looking into it, seeing if it's something that you want to experiment with. See if it has a positive effect on your life. And yeah, that's it for now. Hardcore.